Did you happen to watch President Trump address the United Nations, in which he said that climate change was the greatest con perpetrated on the world? If you didn't get a chance to watch him make that statement, watch it now.
1920s and the 1930s, they said, global cooling will kill the world. We have to do something. Then they said global warming will kill the world. But then it started getting cooler, so now they could just call it climate change, because that way they can't miss. It's climate change. Because if it goes higher or lower, whatever the hell happens, there's climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. Climate change, no matter what happens, you're involved in that. No more global warming, no more global cooling. All of these predictions made by the United Nations and many others, often for bad reasons, were wrong. They were made by stupid people that have cost their countries fortunes and given those same countries no chance for success. If you don't get away from this green scam, your country is going to fail.
I do agree with the president when he says that there are a bunch of failed predictions. I do not agree with him when he says there are a bunch of stupid people. I think these are very smart people that are using these various lies, climate change, global warming, and whatnot, to control the masses with fear. Now, there are true believers that believe this stuff. But if anybody paid attention to Al Gore and the predictions he made, we should be under the ocean by now. But nevertheless, is climate change a con? And I believe without a doubt that is true. Now, 2 years ago on Trusting the Truth, we did a 3-part series on the Bible versus climate change. See, we don't deal in 5 and 10 minute sound bites or clickbait. We try to dig deep in the subjects. We try to give informative information that's going to take time to digest. So if you're not interested in taking the time to really understand a matter, then this is not for you. But if you want to get information that you're probably not going to get succinctly from other places, Trusting the Truth is it. In our 3-part series on climate change, we dug deep into it. Deep. In verse 1, or should I say part 1 of the Bible versus climate change, we started off from the beginning, from man's disobedience to God. And then we went down to this fellow called Thomas Malthus and the Malthusian doctrine. And in that doctrine, he believed that overpopulation would outstrip the means of substance, leading to poverty and famine. We dug into him and how they even thought it was necessary to let people starve to death. This is where man is getting into stuff that doesn't make sense. So we go from the Malthusian doctrine to overpopulation, and from overpopulation to the new ice age, and from the new ice age to global warming, and from global warming to climate change. All these fear points, all these points that are antithetical to what the Bible says when the Bible talks about filling the earth and subduing it. That means using the fossil fuels and everything. Plus, we also prove from the Bible that you cannot destroy the earth, that God alone is in control. And God made it explicitly clear what's going to happen to the earth. That's in part 1. Then we go on to part 2. In part 2, we talk about electric vehicles. And as this cover page shows, many children work as slaves to produce the cobalt and other minerals necessary to make these electric vehicles, while people are running around thinking that they're doing such a grandiose job of saving the environment by driving their electric car. Many of them have no clue to the fact that the electricity in those vehicles have to come from somewhere. It just doesn't grow on trees. And even though they go to charging stations, or they may be rich enough to have a charging station installed at their home, that electricity doesn't grow on trees. It takes energy to make energy. In California, the largest electrical vehicle charging station is run by diesel. And you must have fossil fuels, coal, gas, oil, or whatever, to charge these electric sources. You're not going to get enough energy from wind and solar to charge these cars. Also, these vehicles are much heavier than normal vehicles. They do more damage to the road. And then people don't talk about the fact that what happens when the batteries run out. You can have a car where the batteries need to be replaced, and the cost of the battery is more than what the car is worth. We can be talking tens of thousands of dollars for a battery for a car just to keep it running. Let alone if one of these vehicles catch on fire, it's almost impossible to put that fire out. All that's covered in part 2. Then we go on to part 3. In part 3, some of the solutions that the environmentalists have for us is for us to stop eating meat altogether. Yes, many of these people say cows, farts, flatulence is destroying the ozone layer. They want us to quit eating cows. Maybe they want to get rid of cows. I don't know. But they think one of the solutions for us to get our protein is to eat insects. Now, I know in biblical days, people ate insects sometimes, but not all the time. But this is one of the solutions they have. And the other solution is lab-grown meat. That's right. Meat where they take, I don't know, pieces of meat or something, and they use chemicals or whatever they do to grow meat, artificial meat. You can buy, well, I don't know if you can buy some locally, but they are producing that stuff now, and they want to sell it to people. Lab-grown meat. So that's one of the solutions that these people have for us. So now these folks with the lab-grown meat, they're running around eating filet mignon and Kobe steaks, flying around in expensive jets and whatnot. All I'm saying is climate change is a con. And if you really want to know what's going on with climate change, tune in to the 3-part episode of Trust in the Truth. You can see it on Samuel Talley Facebook page, Samuel Talley YouTube, or my Rumble page of Trust in the Truth. Think about it. Be informed and don't get conned. This is Sam Talley, and I'm out.